Right, Carl, we're down at your gym. Lee Hogan here, VIP TV, sponsored by 666Bet. Put a big show on at the end of February, mate.
In Preston.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's in conjunction with VIP and you and Steve
Yeah,
together.
with Steve, yeah.
Most of your fighters going to be on?
Most of them. Not all of them, but most of them.
We've got Ricky on, he's headlining the show.
Rich Skelton,
yeah.
Top of the bill.
Do we know who he's fighting yet, mate?
Not yet, it's just, we should find out this week.
Yeah. And it's going to be a 10 rounder, is it?
10 round fight, yeah.
Because, let's put it this way, he's only fought 6 up to now, isn't he?
He's done 8, I think he's done an 8.
Oh, did he do it?
In Blackpool, I'm sure he did an 8. I might be wrong. Should know me homework, shouldn't I?
He's ready for it though.
I think so. I think everybody's talking about him. And what I've seen the change, he's matured now. I'm still going to hold him back this year.
Yeah.
I just think, well, I'll give him this chance, and I think he's stepping up the mark, you know.
Yeah, you're right. What we was talking about after his last fight was at William Warburton on the Jolly Boys.
What a tough man that Willie is.
I like him, mate.
He's a credit to the professional boxing, is Willie.
Well, I'm going to go down. He trains at
George.
Yeah, and
well, send my regards. I've got total respect for Willie. I think he's a fantastic professional.
Yeah.
And he just proved couple of weeks before he beat that Welsh lad.
I know.
Gary Lockett's lad.
And he was looking.
And that was a shot,
Big shot. Yeah. Well, I watched him in the first round. He looked like William shouldn't have been there. I mean, the Welsh kid looked really special.
He is. He's a special lad, you know.
Well, but then the second round, William Warburton got it in his head that I took his best. I'll take him out here, and he almost did.
Well, see, Willie fought Rick Godding about 4 years ago, and then he fought Chris Jono for the Central Area title, and Chris beat him and Jono beat him. But he seems to have improved. For a matter of fights, he's not gone in that journey mentality.
He still believes.
He comes to win.
And
I said to Rick, he had a great win last week before. I said, this is going to be a very hard fight, Rick. Yeah, I said, so don't underestimate him, and it proved it. It was a tough fight.
Yeah, I spoke to William afterwards, and he said, "Well, strong, really strong." About Ricky.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it's really strong. So that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Now, so we've got Rick Skelton headlining it. We've got hopefully there's going to be a mate between Kurt Greaves.
Kurt Greaves against Chris
Jenkinson.
Chris Jenkinson is one of the nicest lads in boxing.
Yeah.
And I promised him that I'll get him a top fight with Kirk at Preston.
Yeah.
And I've stuck to my word for him. But I've got a lot of time for Chris. I think he's a wonderful lad.
Well, he's fighting on Saturday, Chris.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's going for 3 on the bounce, and he's got a lot of self-belief. He's a nice boxer,
He is a nice boxer, and it's a tough fight for Kirk. It's 50-50.
Yeah, right. That's what we're getting. I mean, it happened last year with Alisha and Mick Hall. It turned out to be a fantastic fight again. I think we've got a lot of those coming up. You've got, as well as your show on the 28th, which, like I say, I think you've got 7 fighters on there, your fighters?
I think so, 6, 7.
Yeah. And then you've got the big showdown, Shane Singleton and Sam Egerton.
Well, what can we say? We've took the fight. We believe that we can win the fight.
Yeah. Listen, I told you, I like Sam Egerton. I think he's a big, strong, tough lad. But I do think Denzel Vassell has elevated him a little bit too soon.
Well, besides the point, every fight's different.
Yeah, true.
And you got to take every fight that comes. I just believe that Sam's going to be a very tough fight for us. He's a throwback.
Yeah.
He's a very hard man. He can punch, but I know his style. I recognise his style, so it's down to me to work the right tactics with Shane. And if Shane sticks to the plan, we can win this fight.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It'll be a very hard fight for him.
Well, I told you, I've been watching Shane improve with every single fight. And
well, again, he's maturing now. He's 25. Is he 24, 25?
I think it's just 25.
He's undefeated. His record, he's fought some tough lads. But besides the point, on the 7th of March, we'll see. I think Shane will step up to it.
Everyone judges Shane on his fight with Curtis Woodhouse.
Well,
that's what everyone judges his man, and I don't think that's a good idea to judge him on that performance.
Well, let him judge him. To me, I still think Shane won the fight, and he got no recognition for that because Curtis Woodhouse did what he did and spoilt it.
Yeah.
And then, but to me, I told Shane, don't get involved. You won the fight. You're an English champion. Whatever they want to think, if you think you're the same fight when you fought him, well, happy days.
Yeah, definitely. So you've got him. You've got also Mick Hall in Prize Fighter on the 14th of February.
Well, Mike's a light middleweight, and we've been had the opportunity. I spoke to Mike. I said, Mike, you're not getting any younger. I said, it's a great opportunity, and if you
Big
box
opportunity.
and you train hard, we could do really well in this prize fighter.
Well, we got another fighter, and we got Jack Armfield, VIP.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And we had Warren Tanzi, I believe, was going to enter it, but he's pulled out.
Has he pulled out now?
He's pulled out now.
Shame,
Yeah.
he's a lovely lad, Warren.
Yeah, but I don't know who's replaced him, but I looked at all the other lads, and it's a real. There's no way I'd put money on anyone winning it, because
No.
I haven't a clue. Obviously, you've got to say Jack Armfield's favourite because of his record, but Mick is 12-0 now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Great win out last time against Ali Shah, which we were talking about.
How tough is Ali Shah now? What good is he?
Yes, yeah.
So Mike really did really well. I haven't seen the fight, but I believe watching it, them being there in the corner, is completely, Mike boxed well. I was just looking at the, the faults what he were doing.
He didn't do many faults in the early rounds, but then when fatigue set in, it allowed Ali to get back into the fight and make it a close run thing.
Yeah.
But he won it, and deservedly so. And now hopefully he's going to take that success into prize fighter. What do you reckon?
Get past the first round.
It's hard. He likes it. It's a gamble.
Yeah.
Over the 3 rounds.
I said to Mike, you can outbox any of these lads. You've got to be fit. You've got to be on the ball. Let's get past the first. Let's take the first fight. Let's get the first fight out of the way. If we win the first fight,
That's it, yeah.
it's there for us.
Third of the way anyway.
Yeah.
No, he seems obviously.
I've been all right in the prize fight. I've had a semi-finalist and a finalist, and to me, the finalist was Brett Flannery, and I thought he won it, to be honest with you. It's just that he took a drop in the last round, but he was tied.
Was that the Scouts lad?
Yeah, against Prince Aaron.
Yeah.
Very classy fighter, Brett. He should have been. He should have been a British champion. And Dilksey, to me, I thought he won the semi-final, and they get out the ring, and then they changed the decision.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
But you telling me he lost that fight?
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Even Jack, the other corner, he knew that he got beat.
See, things like that though are bad for boxing.
Of course it
when
is.
that's on telly and everyone can see it, and everyone was of the same opinion by the judges, it's not a good sign. That
Could be third time lucky.
Yeah.
Could be third time lucky.
Like I say, I really, I'm not a betting man anyway. But I look at them all, and they've all got similar records. I think there's only 5 of the 8 fighters are unbeaten. So when you're unbeaten, what do? You can't.
Well, like I said, we could lose in the first round, or we could lose in the final. So we'll just take it. See who we're going to fight in the first fight.
Yeah.
And then I'll take it from there. I'm hoping that we're going to get into the final, but it's down. It's down to Mike, really.
Will he be down here later on, Mike?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Do a little interview with him.
Can't keep me. Have to keep.
No, actually, normally you can't get him in the gym, but
can't keep no secrets away.
Listen, I'm looking forward to both February and 7th of March, and like I say, you've got your big show. We'll be down there following, and hopefully chatting to all your fighters with another win behind the name.
I hope so. We've got a comeback.
Rick Godden. Well, I've never seen him fight. I know you swear by him, mate. And
anybody in the boxing fraternity will tell you how good Rick Godden is. It's so sad that the injuries what he's happened over the years. He should have been either fighting for a title or been a champion by now.
He's still only a young kid though, isn't he?
I think
25, 26?
No, he's 30s, Richard.
Is he?
Yeah. He had a bad injury with his shoulder, and it's took him nearly 2 years to get back in. He's been training, but he's been back in. He's been training with me for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
But we just said we'll just take a time. We got, he's still young at 30.
Cool.
Two got 3-4 good years in him.
Yeah.
He's undefeated.
And he's not worn out, is he? You know what I mean?
He just. See, Richard was in the army. He fought in the war. He's a bit of a war hero to me, so he's my hero.
Right.
He's been with me a long time. And he deserves that chance.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I think you're working well for all your fighters, mate. It's a joy to come down here, a joy to come to your gym. It's got to be.
We've got a really good atmosphere. It's more like a winnings gym, like it used to be. I used to train the lads at Colliers with Brian Hughes, and everybody believed in themselves, and that's what I've got here. Just we've got to get the breaks now. If Shane wins that title against Sam, and then we might win the prize fight. Well, the gym's got to.
That's it. By success, it opens doors for not just those fighters, but for the fighters, your other fighters.
See, with this gym, these lads work hard because they're at that level where they need to be at this level. and they're at that level, you know, in my eyes. You know.
Yeah, but I wouldn't argue with any of it, mate. I'd say five fights ago, 6 fights ago, when I first started talking to you about Shane, weren't sure, but I realised that you had him on a leash, and you was only letting you see little bits of him, bits at a time, and I think over the last 3 fights you've let him go, and he's proved everything that you said to be right.
I think Sam's going to have a bit of a shock, to be honest with you, because he doesn't know how good Shane is.
No one does that, President.
We know how good Sam is, but I don't think he realises how good Shane is, and he's underestimating him, and he's really like slagging him off a bit, which I don't like.
No, I know.
You know, you shouldn't really, because it's a professional sport, and I just feel that he's very underestimated.
Definitely, stands us in good faith. It's in our favour that they underestimated him. I definitely think
if he gets beat, it's not for trying anyway. But we're not. But
no,
that's what we don't aim for in this gym. You know.
No, listen, I'm looking forward to everything that's coming your way soon.
Morgan
14th.
Jackson's another kid.
Oh yeah, Morgan's on
Morgan,
there.
yeah.
So we've got Morgan, Kurt, Rick Godin, Rick Skelton. What about Mike and any of those lads?
No, Mike's, to be honest with you, Mike's he might have to have an operation on his ankle.
Oh, right.
So, but if something comes in the next 2-3 months, he'll take the fight.
Yes.
So we're just really waiting, and Mike's just waiting.
And what about Mark Thompson? He's here now. He's had his operation.
He's had his operations. All being well, he should be back in the gym in the next 3-4 weeks. He's just letting the last operation is heal before he's coming back.
Did he have to do 2 separate operations?
Yeah,
wasn't it?
so sad for Mark, because the way he'd been training in the gym.
Well, no, it was in Bolton, wasn't he? He was all set to fight, and then the doctor said, no, you got perforated.
But he's been fighting with perforated gyms for years and years. Yeah. But do you know something? When he's been sparring, he never complained about his ears. No. To me, I never knew there was a problem.
No,
you know.
He said he knew the problem. He thought there was nothing that could be done about it.
Well, he told me afterwards that he was born. I think he was born with with his ears, and it's a bit of a shocker, to be honest with you. And I felt so sorry, because he really wants to win a title again. He wants he wants it so much, you know.
Well, you say, when you can punch like he can,
he's a freak.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a massive level of having something.
Do you know
like
who
that.
we missed? Do you know who you missed out?
Go on.
Toby Turvin. He's on the bill.
Oh, Tommy.
Yeah.
I always get confused, mate. Yes, he's. Well, he had his win back out. It was the first time back in the ring for 14 months.
Well, again,
you weren't sure whether it was totally right, so you took it easy. But you were happy at the end of the fight.
It's still a concern to me. But talk about strength.
He's a beast, isn't he?
And it can be a downfall for him, because he believes he can knock everybody out with both hands, and that's his downfall. He's got to learn how to box.
Hence the nickname TNT.
TNT, yeah. But he's really stepping up the mark. He's really coming on. His boxing skills are starting to work. He's working more on his defending. We work a lot on defence and countering, and that's what.
Yeah, he was an in-shape cruiserweight. How he gets down to
he's not big enough for cruiserweight.
No, he's not. I know he's not. But what I'm saying, though, he was an in-shape cruiserweight. So when he gets down to light heavyweight, it's him and Mike are just phenomenal.
Maybe in a couple of years, 2-3 years, when he has the experience to handle the big people a bit more, then we might step him up. He's got the power. He's got the power like an everywhere.
Yeah.
And if he hits you with that left hook, when I feel it on the pads, and my body's shaking. When he hits you with the pads.
Yeah, listen, we've got big things coming to this gym, I think, over the next few months.
I hope so.
So we'll see you at Prize Fighter in Blackpool on the 14th.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, we'll be down following you for the big show. Is it first show for yourself promoting?
Well, I'm not. Yeah.
Co-promoting then.
Yeah. What it is, I've always wanted. My aim was always to fight in Preston.
Yeah.
And I did fight in Preston. I was a bit unlucky in Preston at Guildhall, but I always wanted to fight for a title. I thought, well, the next step for me is, if I can fight for a title in Preston, one of my lads.
Same as,
and I'm really buzzing about having it, because Preston's a fighting town. We've got a couple of good amateurs. We've got Scott Fitzgerald, Commonwealth champion, who comes here does sparring. Lisa Whiteside, who won the silver. Silver, I think.
European Championships.
Yeah. So we've got some little fighters coming from this
Well, I remember. Do you remember Paul Burke? He would have been
Yeah,
fancy
Burke.
him. Yeah.
Oh, Burke, yeah, he was
down at,
off.
yeah, he used to train at Leeds gym with
Right,
Billy
yeah.
Graham and all
That's
that.
right, yeah.
So I was just on Facebook because I put a little clip of Lee up on there, and obviously he gets in there and then he put a photo of all the lads on there. And I don't know if you remember the big heavyweight. Was it Craig Bowen Price?
No.
He was from Blackpool.
Right.
And yeah, it was good times then back in the 90s, knocking him out with them all.
Craig, I think, I might have known. Yeah. Well, I when I retired from boxing, I started playing rugby and I just had enough of boxing because it was my life, and I thought I'm going to change a life. So I started playing rugby, and so for 4 or 5 years I didn't do anything to do with boxing, and then I got involved. I started padding.
How did you get back involved in it then?
Well, it was Michael Jennings.
Oh yeah.
It was his dad who used to work for me on the doors, and he said to me, "Well, lad's turning pro," and I used to watch him and thinking, I need to work on this, work on that. He said, "Well, I do some pad work," and I did some pad work with Mike, and we clicked. And then for 12 months, just padding him when he weren't at Collyhurst, and the next thing I got a phone call off me, "Do you want to come to Collyhurst and work with the boys?" I went, "Yeah." And then I took to it, I was there for 3-4 years. So I learnt my apprenticeship with Brian Hughes, really.
Yeah.
And I was happy with that. I was the pad man. He was undefeated, Jim. Robbie was beat a couple of times, but the other lads was undefeated.
Yeah,
so I'm quite proud of that. But I got to a point where I thought, well, I need to do my own thing now. I did my 4 years apprenticeship, 3.5, 4 years apprenticeship.
But didn't you work with Enzo?
I worked with Enzo McAnally, yeah, I worked with him.
So how did that come about then?
Gary Lockett.
Oh right.
Because Gary used to train Gary.
Right.
Because Gary used to stop here at this house. He used to live with me. And he used to train him here. And I rated Gary. I like Gary. Gary's, to me,
he could bang a bit as well.
His left hook was unbelievable. And we trained well, and we just, we had that good relationship. But when I left Collyhurst, did my own thing. I didn't ask any of the lads to come over. I thought I'll start fresh. And the next thing I got a phone call off Gary. Do you want to come down? Do you want to come over to be in the corner with me when he fought Pavlik? With Pavlik in Atlantic City. I said, love to. I absolutely love to come. Yeah. He said, but Enzo's going to be there, and we've always known Enzo Kawasaki as a character.
Yeah.
I think. But it was, to me, I think the world of Enzo. I really like the fella. And then I got working with Enzo, and then I asked to go in the corner when Joe fought Jones. So I went to Madison Square Gardens with him. Then Enzo McAnally rang me. He said, "Will you train me? I want to get away from Enzo." So we trained Enzo. We won the European title. Kerry Hope came, trained Kerry. Kerry went to America, came back. He came here.
Did Kerry win the European title?
We won the European title. So I've won 2 European titles. I won the British title with Michael Jennings. Over your titles, like David Barnesy, trained him with Brian.
Yeah.
I was his pad man. Won the British title. Who else did we have? Michael Jennings, he won the British title, the WBO, I think it was.
Who did he fight
Tommy
against?
Gary Lockett. Tony Docherty, fantastic fighter.
Yeah.
That's Paddy Docherty.
Yeah.
Cousin, nephew.
Well, in fact, I was with him on Friday. He was Saturday. He was dishing out the awards, because Leeds Amateur Gym, they have the camp at the bottom, so all the lads fighting there are all travellers. And we had another one of the Mongans fighting again. There's so many that's been through their gym, and he's called Martin as well, the same as.
Well, funny enough, the Mongans. This is the funny story. The Mongans. When I started working the doors in Preston, I worked with a guy called Pat Mongan.
Yeah.
And they're all related. The Mongans in town have a bit of a reputation. Because I was a pro boxer, I never had any problems off anybody. I was a small guy. I was only 11 stone, but I got a bit of a reputation of, And I got working with Pat for a long time, and that's how I started my security company down to Pat Mongan.
Oh, right.
And then Pat died.
Yeah.
And then we met Magga, Bernard Mongan, Martin Mongan, and then the other Martin Mongans, they were cousins in relationship. Next thing you know, there's Mongans down London and down, and they're travelling like that. And then they're related to Tommy McDonough.
Right,
yeah.
He's funny, that lad, Tommy.
He's one of the nicest people.
I know.
Tommy, you could ever meet in boxing.
Yeah, he is.
Well, in life.
Yeah, he's an absolute guy.
I don't see much of Tommy, but I've got total respect. And what a great fighter he was, Like.
Yes, I know. He had the best unbeaten record for a while. I think he had 31 unbeaten.
He only got beat when I left.
Yeah, but no, I do. I like Tommy. He's a real character.
He's on the wall there.
Is
Tommy's on the wall there, yeah. The Jimmy Carrier box.
Martin? Is that
No,
Martin?
there. Jimmy Carrier boxing. Tommy. He's the only guy who could box and be looking outside when he was boxing.
He's definitely funny because he runs the amateur side for Moston and Colliers.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
With Pat.
Yeah.
And like I say, I see him all the time because I go down filming the championships.
Yeah.
And he's like a naughty kid. He can't stand still. He's always giggling or winding someone up or telling a joke somewhere.
He was like that when he trained. You know, it took me, a true story, lads will verify this, I couldn't understand why he could double up. Couldn't double up. Everybody used to double up.
Oh yeah, skipping.
And one day I said to Brian, why can't he double up? And Brian said he can. And so for 3 years, the 2.5 years I was there, he never doubled up because he didn't want to double up. So when I found out, then he started to double up. Yeah, that's sod, never forgive him for that,
Oh, yeah. He calls himself the Doof, innit?
Yeah.
Dad's women love. So like I say, you've had a great start to it all, and now say this is your baby, isn't it? This,
it's just
camp is special.
It's been hard for me because I'm not one of these people what sell yourself. I just get on with the job, and I've been disappointed. A couple of fighters have come to me, but they've not stopped. So I've had to build my own little camp up and work hard at it, and I will get champions. And everybody knows that I'm a good trainer, and I will get there, and the lads will come eventually. We'll get the lads.
Listen, I must admit, we all talk, and I've said to you a few times, I think this or that, and then every time you put me right, I thought, yeah, you are right actually, because we was talking about Rick, and I think he's good and special, but you're right. Holding back another 12 months, 18 months, and then I think when he gets his chances, he will take them like Shane's going to.
I learned so much of Brian Hughes. He's very experienced.
He cared about his fighters as well, you see.
He did. Very, very caring person, and he understood how to deal with them as well. And when I was young, I was like a bull in a china shop, where it's like old school.
What, and you're not now?
A bit more clued on, working on skills and working on defence and routines, and that's what he installed into me. And if I can get that off for these boys,
he's done well. I mean, I go down to Pat's gym. He's set up his own promotional company,
of course,
Black Flash Promotions, and they've got a show on the same night as us. And I think we've got a lad fighting on Liam Taylor, who's I think he's going to be a massive star in the future as well. One of Darren McGarrett's lads.
Yeah.
And he's really looking after his fighters. He wants to nurture them and bring them through. Exactly the same as yourself.
Pat's very experienced. Brian brought him on.
Of course he did.
Pat's downfall was himself, and he'll admit that.
He told me that.
He's a good friend of mine, Pat, and I know Pat very well. And but like he said, his downfall was himself. He could have.
Yes.
Got up there. I'm glad I didn't fight him.
I tell you what, he's got some real talented lads through there. His nephew, Zelfa.
I believe he's a good fighter.
He's going to be special, mate. But again, I was saying, I think, within another half dozen fights, he could be ready. He shouldn't be fighting the fighters that he's fighting now. But you have to. And he said, no, that's what he wants to do with his lads. He's not rushing any of them.
It's not a case of knocking people out, it's a case of get the rounds in and learn your trade. You understand? You get your 50-50 fights. When you get your 50-50 fights, then it's a different story.
Yeah. No, listen, I'm really looking forward to everything that's coming up. So I'll see you on the 14th. And hopefully, new prize fighter champion, mate.
Let's hope, Let's cross our fingers and hope.
Take care, Karl.
Cheers,
See you later, mate.
Thank you.
Bye.
It's all right, mate.
I enjoyed that, mate.